Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Cam from Riviera Nautic, and in this session we're going to have a look at the mooring ropes or the mooring lines on board your boat at Riviera Nautic. We try and set all of our boats up in a fairly standard fashion, and what you'll find on board your boat at Riviera Nautic is that you'll have two bow lines, the bow being the front of the boat. So we'll have two ropes at the front of the boat that are dedicated for mooring the boat, and two stern lines, so two lines at the back of the boat which are dedicated for mooring the boat as well. You'll see that each of those four ropes is permanently attached to the boat. So in this example here we can see that this mooring line is spliced onto the cleat, it can't be removed. So that is a strong point, so that means that this rope could be taken to a jetty and tied off on the jetty. But you'll also see at the far end of this rope that there's a loop at the end of the rope which is over a post. So in the end of most of our mooring lines we've spliced in a loop, so that allows you to place the loop over a post on a jetty. The rest of this rope, so we've now got a lot of loose rope back on board, we can take this tail and we can cleat it off at the cleat on board your boat. So the way we would do that, and I'll demonstrate this, and you can, if you choose to, you can watch it 2 or 3 times to learn how to do it properly. What we would do is always make sure that we take a full turn around the base of the cleat. So you can see there I've got one full turn around the base of the cleat, and this pinching point here is already doing about half the work for us. And if I just stop at that point, as a crew member on board a boat, if you're responsible for trying to secure a mooring line, this is the best thing that you can do. So we do see sometimes, of course, someone who has been successful in getting a rope over a post, and now what they're doing is just holding onto the rope with their hands. That gives you no holding power whatsoever. So we need to make sure that the rope is being held to a strong point on the boat. So the best way to do that quickly as a crew member is to get that full turn around the base of the cleat and hang on to it. Okay, so with that biting pinch point there, I can hang on to that now with my bare hands, probably until the rope breaks. So if we're going to finish tying that off, we've got our full turn around the base. I'm just going to take one turn figure of 8 around one end of the horn, and then to finish it off we just need a locking hitch. So a locking hitch is tucking the tail of the rope underneath itself, so that effectively we get another pinch point, or almost a knot at the far end. So at that point we're locked in position, and certainly that rope would break before our knot or our cleat let go. So I'll just do that one more time in full. So we take the tail of our rope, secure it around the cleat with one full turn, a figure of 8 around one end of the horn, and we tuck the tail underneath itself so that we get that final locking hitch. And that's all we need to do. Now, so we've spoken of the 4 mooring lines, or what we'd call permanent lines, because they're attached to the cleats on the boat. In addition to those ropes, you'll have on board your boat some additional mooring lines, and you'll see in the locker here there's some additional white and black rope. So they're obviously not permanently attached to the boat, and you can use those in a number of different ways. You may use them to extend the length of some of your ropes if you want to tie 2 ropes together. A good example of that is if we are nosed up to a shoreline and we want to get some length of a mooring line from the back of the boat out at an angle back to the beach, we may need to join a couple of ropes together to get that length. Another example might be if we are alongside a jetty, and I should point out that this boat at the moment, being stern or back to the jetty, is not typical of how you'll be moored to the public jetties. You'll be alongside the jetty, so the side of the boat against the jetty. And these additional mooring lines allow you to set up springing lines in different fashions to try and make sure the boat is not wandering up and down the jetty. So you've got some flexibility in how you use those mooring lines. So when we come back shortly, it'll be for the sailors, and we'll go through the way that your sails are set up, and the way that your control lines, etc., are set up on your Riviera Nautic yacht. We'll see you soon. Hi everyone, just a quick word about right-of-way rules on the water. Keeping in mind that when we're talking about sailing vessels and vessels under engine power, that a yacht such as the one that we're on now can be either. If you're under sail without the engine running, you're a sailing vessel. If your engine is running, regardless of whether your sails are up or not, then you're a motor-powered vessel. So the first rule of right of way, which sometimes people overlook, is that boats keep clear of each other. So give each other space. What that means is that you don't have to chase the right-hand side of every boat that you see. If you're heading for a certain destination and you're not on a collision course with another vessel, then you can go straight there. Right-of-way rules for engine versus sail. A motor-powered vessel must give way to a vessel that's under sail, and equally a motor-powered vessel and a sailing vessel must give way to human-powered vessels. So we see a lot more these days, kayakers, paddleboarders, all that sort of stuff. Give them a really wide berth. Your wake can disturb those guys as well. If two engine-powered vessels seem to be on a collision course, so if it looks like you're at risk of a collision course eventuating, if you turn to the right or to starboard, so alter your course to starboard, then you're pretty much always doing the correct thing. And make your movements nice and obvious. It's really helpful to other boats if they see that you are making a fairly large adjustment. Also keep in mind alcohol laws on the water. There's a 0.05 limit on the water as there is on the road. So please make sure at all times that you're able to be responsible for the vessel that you've chartered. Thanks very much.